Right, let's see if there's any fish here today. Now, it is very calm. Although it's windy, it's the wind's actually flattened the sea off here, and there's no swell at all. That wind is really cold, but we're just going to give it a go. It's been very quiet on the bass front the last few days, so just to pick up 1 or 2 fish today would be absolutely awesome. I'm starting with a savagegear sundeal. It's actually good conditions for a surface lure, but got a side-on wind, so it just makes it very difficult to work the lure properly when you've got so much line out the water. Oh, felt like a hit then. Could have been a garfish maybe. It's just a very small fish, but felt like a little hit. Well, I'm into a fish, but it is a bass. It's a small bass. That was an extremely odd take. Honestly, that was so weird. It felt like I hooked a squid or something. So that was a little bass that hit the lure beforehand, but obviously they're just being a bit finicky. So just 3 casts in and we've got our first fish. A small one, obviously, but I'm not complaining. That was such a weird hit, honestly. Really was. It felt like I hooked a squid or something. It just felt like, I can't really explain it. That was really odd. But first little bass there. Let's get it back and hopefully there's a couple more. Then. Right, off you go, buddy. See you later. So, an alright start. 3 casts in, 1 fish. Let's hope there's a few more. That was such a subtle hit. It really was. There's another hit. I'm on again. There we go. Boom! Woohoo! Yes! Same size as the last, but at least that one felt like a proper hit. First cast in and another fish. Beauty. Here he comes. If he stays on there, I'm going to lift him up. There we are. Calm down in that rock pool, mate. Gill's flared up. Beautiful stuff. Oh, he's really flared up this one. There we are. Lure out. Now, to save some time and just get back fishing, what I'm going to do without breaking my rod is just pop that bass in that pool. And I'm going to get straight back in with another cast. Now, I'm not keeping that bass obviously because I'm fairly certain it's undersized anyway. But if we go straight back in, if the fish are here, I just want to use the time wisely. I'm on again. Mental. 3 fish and 3 casts. Oh, this is crazy. I should have set the other camera up. Right. He can join his buddy for now. Look at that. Another cast in, straight back into the fish. A little bit smaller, but super silver that one. Can we make it 4 and 4? Boom. There's obviously a school of small fish in here, so that's a good sign. Now if I don't catch in the next couple of casts with this lure, then I'm fairly sure the colour today is playing a big part. Well, this is the sand eel version of one of the Waylander lures, and these literally arrived this morning. So this is the very first cast I'm having with them. Oh yeah, oh weed. I thought that was a fish then. So let's find out. I've just had half a dozen casts with this lure and I haven't had a hit. Let's find out if it is the colour, or have the fish just literally come in, gone off. When you're fishing areas like this, it can be a case of they can be holding there if they're feeding on something, but it can also be a case of they've just come past that part of the bay as you're here. So you'll get 5-10 minutes of them being here, if that sometimes, and then they go. But it could be to do with the colour of the lure, so let's put the white one back on and see if that makes a difference. Well, this should be interesting. Is it the colour of the lure, or have the fish gone? So those bass are still in the pool behind me, but I'm just going to give it 3 or 4 casts with this lure and then I'm going to put them back. They're perfectly fine in that rock pool. I just obviously don't want to leave them in there too long. Now this is what I mean about the reason why I put those bass in the pool is when you're hooking fish like that, you never know how long it's going to last for. If they're literally, this bay is absolutely gigantic, so if they're literally just swimming past here and they see a lure swim past them and they go for it, they're not going to hang around for too long. So by putting those fish in that rock pool, it just means you can get a lure straight back in the water. If I was faffing around on hooking that fish and trying to take a photo, etc., I mean, I had 2 fish in the next 2 casts. By the time I would have got a lure back in, they would have moved already. So there's a difference between catching 1 fish or 3. So 1, 2, we're going to get them both back now. Certainly shows that just making the most of it, keeping the lure in the water constantly while the fish are there, pays off, because the last half a dozen casts, absolutely nothing. So I say, the last half a dozen casts nothing, and then the first cast I have, I'm in again. This one feels really small, it's kind of given up. Oh, now he's going a bit. Ah, he's tiny, that's why. Oh, look at that one, a little miniature bass. Number 4, little small one. Gone quiet again. I'm just fanning around the cast. So basically in like 180 degrees, starting from my right hand side and just working my way around, just to see where they are. Definitely so far white lure is outfished the other one. Now whether that's just, you never really know, do you? Unless you see a fish follow the lure close in and not take it, show reluctance to take it, you never really know. They could be following it out there. It could be anything. It could be the profile of the lure, it could be the colour, it could just be what they're feeding on, what they want. Well, it always helps to have a variety with you. But like I say in most of my lure fishing videos, when I'm out lure fishing for bass, a white lure, the whole year round here in Guernsey, but especially in winter, a white lure is my go-to. Rough conditions, calm conditions, No matter what type of lure, if it's a soft plastic, a shallow diver, a surface lure, I'll always start with a white first. So I've literally just had the most subtle little taps all the way in. Now, I like to experiment with these things. I just said, I really like a white lure. So what I'm going to do is clip on one of the Samson shads, a 25 gram version. See if they'll be interested in this. So you can cover a lot of distance with these lures. But what I'm going to do is really fast wind in the slack, and then just going to work it in quite slowly. I'm using the rod to work the lure, and I'm just winding the reel to wind in the slack line. We'll give it 8 or 10 casts with this lure, and then I'll just put something else on. It's just interesting to see what they'll take, you know. The first hit I had was very finicky, so what's to say there's not more fish out there, but they're just not really on the feed. I can't tell if this is a really small bass or a garfish. Can't see it yet. I think it is I think it's a bass. Yeah, it's a tiny one. Well, unfortunately, they seem to be getting smaller. A fish is a fish. We're still catching. The only problem is they're that size. Well, that thing is tiny, but interesting to know it took that Samson shad. Let's get it back in the water, see if we can find its grandmother. So that would explain the little tiny taps I was getting earlier. Well, they are definitely in a particular mood today. Be nice if a bigger one shows up. 3-4 pounder, that'll be absolutely excellent. Don't know how likely the chances are of that, but you got a fish, you can only catch what's in front of you. Fish through the small ones, and hopefully there's something bigger out there. So I really don't know if I'm actually going to get away with fishing this, because the crosswind is literally coming right across me. So whether I'm actually going to get a decent action on it is one question, but I'm willing to try. Honestly, I don't believe it. First cast with the surface lure, and bang, I got smashed. It's just come off. I turned the other camera off because I'm running low on battery, but honestly, first cast. Oh my God. Right, I'm just going to wind it in and get it back out into that area. Is there any evidence on it? No. Oh man, that was a really nice take. It wasn't a big fish, but it certainly came up and smashed it. Right, come on. Just working it quite slowly and erratically. It's so weird because you can be casting away with one lure and literally you just turn around. The time it takes you to take one lure off the clip and clip another one on, you're talking 20 seconds. You're casting back into the same area and then have a hookup. So to me, that does say today that it is a certain type of lure that they're after. But white for the win for sure. I'll stick the other camera on and hopefully we can get a hookup. I've literally just had a fish go for this twice. Come on. So finicky today, it's mad. Honestly, I reckon I'm getting followed. It must be near on every cast, it must be. If we can get one off the top, I'll be happy with that. Can we tempt it? Oh, straight away, look. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Straight away. Right, there's loads of fish here, so I'm gonna give it one more cast with this. And then stick a soft plastic back on. Frustrating. Honestly, it's like literally every other cast. They're coming up, bang, bang, bang. But just behind it, I've had one brief hookup. I'm gonna stick the softy back on, just see if I can get one off this. And then, I'm determined to get one off the surface. I could downsize surface lure and see if that makes a difference. But we'll see if this works in the meantime. What is up with them? It's like they're just playing about with the lures. They're not, I don't think they're on the feed. Really, really odd. Just getting like subtle bites. And obviously these are all small bass. But it's just so weird. Why are some, you know, taking the lure quite happily and others just playing about with it? Very odd. Oh, there we go. This is tiny again though. At least we got one. Where's he at? Oh, going for it now. He's gunning for that reef. God, right little scrapper. It's not as small as I thought. There we are. Still a small fish, but much bigger than the last one. So weird today, honestly, it really is weird. Check out the winter colours on that. Beautiful. First cast back in, another fish. Now they're not playing about. I've just turned the other camera off for now. Save a bit of battery. This one's tiny. There we are. Hooked himself. Later, buddy. Right back in. I wasn't really expecting this today. But what fun it is. Even when you're catching small fish like this, it's just great fun. And always a learning curve as well. When you go home, it makes you think, you know, why weren't they taking certain lures? How come they were off the boil for a little bit? All parts of fishing. I knew I'd get one in the end. Yes. There we go. One bass off the top on the patchinko. It came up a couple of times and third time's the charm. Really happy with that. Let's get it unhooked. There we are. Absolutely beautiful. Winter bass off the top. So I've lost count of how many I've had now, but what a fun little session this has been. Now,
I'm probably not going to stick around too much longer because I've made the major error of not bringing any water out with me, and I'm really dying for a drink. So I'm going to give it a few more casts with the patchinko, and we'll see if we can pick one or two more up before we leave.
Well, I'm happy about that, to get one off the top. I can tell you what, it may not look it on camera, but oh yes, I'm in again. Is it off? No, it's on. Oh yes. Oh, it's going now. God, this one's coasting. Where's he at? There we go. I was just about to say, it may not look it on camera, but with that crosswind, it's actually pretty difficult to get a really good action on the lure. However, that's worked a treat. Oh man, this is absolutely amazing. I reckon that could have been number 10. So weird. How come all of a sudden they're on this surface lure and just literally, oh, again, straight away, and again. There's a lot of fish out there. But yeah, how come some of them are on it and some of them just come up and swipe at it? It's really odd. Oh my God, that one came out of the water. Look at it. Can you see that on the camera? And again. One cast, and again. I'm going to pause it. Then start again. One cast, and what was that? 7 or 8 swirls. Mental. I'm back on with soft plastic. I'm going to give it 3 more casts and then I'm out of here. There we go. Oh my God. This is really small. This is one of those days where you think you could probably stay here for the next hour and a half or something and just keep catching. Kind of goes against what I was saying earlier in the video of you know, the bass just passing through. He certainly wasn't coming off. That kind of looks like that bass has been hooked before. There we are, lovely little shiner. So that's it for me today. What a little session this has been, an absolute little blinder. Fish everywhere. Really interesting about the lures, the lure choices. Now, it's been obvious throughout this whole video that white has definitely been the colour today. I was really wanting to catch on one of these new Waylander lures, but honestly I think I could have put any other colour soft plastic on and they would not have been interested. White was the colour, and I'm really happy I managed to get one soft plastic subsurface lure on my shad and off the top on the patchinko. So yeah, that's great. Now I'm going to get out of here. Just like to say thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I think it's the first bass video I've actually put up in quite some time, so hopefully with these better tides I'll be out quite a bit over the next few days and hopefully filming some content. Now if you like this video, please feel free to hit the like button. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.